Okay, well, as we were working and working away, the second Oscar was still alive, and he decided that it was time to have a radio commercial. Now, he was driven back and forth to work by a chauffeur in his limousine, and so he listened to the radio coming and going. And he says, called the advertising agency people and the advertising people in and said, boys, he says, we need a radio commercial. And of course, we all knew very, very well that it was not a radio business anymore, it was a television business. So we said, well, maybe if we don't do anything about it, he's old, maybe he'll forget about it. Well, he didn't forget about it. About 30 days later, he called us out to his house and sat down at the piano and played his version of a jingle. And it was apparently an old family song, and he had cleaned up the words to it, and it was terrible. And he knew it. And he said, now, boys, he says, if you don't come up with something better than this in 30 days, he says, this is going on the air as our radio commercial. Well, I mean, there was no choice, and we were in a panic, and we went to the tunesmiths and jingle writers that we could think of, and one guy, a fellow named Bob Trentledge from down in Indiana, came in with a jingle. He was a great writer and a great musician, but a terrible, terrible singer. And so he'd had his little kids sing this song, with the understanding that if we decided to do it, Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians or somebody like that would do the final version of it. But it was a great jingle.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer Weiner. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer Weiner, everyone would be in love with me.
But the kids had just a haunting quality about them. And I went to Carl and I said, Carl, I said, before we do anything to this, let's just try the kids and see how it'll work. Oh, no, he says, we can't do that. He says, it just might not work at all and hurt our reputation. I said, yeah, but gee, what? Well, he says, all right. He says, try it someplace, but someplace where they don't know us, so we don't have anything to lose. So we didn't have anything in Houston, Texas. We took the commercial down there, put it on 2 or 3 radio stations, and before long, I mean, the editorials were being written about the song. People were writing us. We had tons of mail about the jingle. The Little Sisters of the Sodality wanted to use a parody in one of the things they were putting on, and we knew then that we had a winner. So we took it back, used it on the radio for several times. Then we eventually made a television commercial out of it, which we called the Marching Song, and it was the commercial that carried Oscar Mayer to national distribution.
Class attention. Forward march. Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer Weiner. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer Weiner, everyone would be in love with me.
A big parade is so inspiring.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer Weiner. That is what I never want to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer Weiner, there would soon be nothing left of me. Oh, I love to be an
Oscar Mayer Wieners are all meat, all good meat, rich in complete meat protein, mildly seasoned to bring out all the good meat flavor.
Everyone would be in love with me.
Next week, you'll handle just the refreshments, Freddie.